11 Local First.
A local sportsman shop is one of only 100 across the U.S. unveiling a new pistol this weekend. How you can be one of the first to try it out. Plus, a nonprofit is spreading a message of compassion in Lancaster County, why they say there's no better time to help those less fortunate. But we begin tonight with a hazmat incident in Mannheim. Good evening, I'm Holly Harrer. Emergency crews responded to a reported gas leak at the Mannheim auto auction this morning. Our News 11's Taylor Toshev has the very latest. Taylor.
Holly, just shortly after 10 a.m. this morning, emergency crews responded to the Mannheim auto auction after employees reported a foul-smelling odor coming from one of the buildings. 250 employees needed to be evacuated, and 6 of them were taken to the hospital. Just after 10 a.m., an unknown odor made its way through the reconditioning building at the Mannheim auto auction, and within minutes, employees felt nauseous, triggering headaches.
There was an odor in the building. We quickly then evacuated the building and moved the employees out of the building to a safe area.
That's when General Manager Joey Hughes contacted emergency response teams.
We were able to walk everyone out and get everybody out of the building, and just taking our precautions. The safety for the employees and the guests and the clients are our number one priority for us.
All 250 employees were evacuated from the building.
Our main responsibility is to the employees to evacuate, and at that point then emergency services comes in and they take over to try to identify causes and find those leaks.
EMS treated 1 person on scene while 6 others were taken to the hospital for further medical treatment. While the hazmat unit searched for the cause of the leak, the rest of the campus remained open.
If we had an unsafe situation presenting itself, it would be limited immediately, and we haven't closed the campus to the normal business function. This is a localized event that is, for all intents and purposes, contained at this point.
Just 2 hours after the initial leak, the campus returned to normal operations, but that cause of the incident has not been determined.
At the moment, there's no larger risk to the community. There's no encroachment of the problem throughout the campus of the auto auction.
Conditions of the 6 employees that were taken to the hospital has yet to be determined, as well as the initial cause of the leak. Reporting in studio, I'm Taylor Toshev, News 11.
All right, thank you, Taylor. Well, this weather has had all of us here at News 11 in the best mood. Here's to hoping the weekend will keep those high spirits sticking around. Here to tell if that's a possibility is Carl Kern with our first look at the forecast.
First Look Weather is brought to you by The Wagon at Weaver Markets. Check out weavermarkets.com for this week's menu.
That really makes me smile, Holly, because that really is what the weather does. It really has a tremendous ability to influence your mood, your spirit, and especially when we do have such a tremendous run of nice weather that is now carrying on through another weekend. We've had multiple nice weekends this summer. It has been a very unusually wet and wonderful summer at the same time, because for as wet as it's been, we've still had plenty of nice weather. We can't dismiss the fact, though, that while we're having some of the nicest weather in the country, some of the worst weather we've seen in a very long time is going to be plaguing southern Texas for the entire weekend and into next week. So it's one person's feast is another person's famine. I don't like to be cliche, but this is certainly a serious situation, and we are going to continue to take in very nice weather through the weekend. I'll let you know if there are any changes in sight. The forecast is on the way, Holly.
All right, thank you, Carl. Well, the Sportsman Shop in East Earl has been selected as one of only 100 firearm retailers across the nation to unveil the newest Glock pistol. Tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m., firearm enthusiasts can be some of the first to shoot the new Glock. The Sportsman Shop will provide ear and eye protection and a certified instructor. For $10, you'll have the chance to fire 10 shots and even enter to be the very first to try it out. Owner of the Sportsman Shop, Joe Keffer, anticipates hundreds of gun-loving guests.
I think we'll see for sure the real Glock enthusiasts, but I think other people who perhaps were considering buying a new handgun around this time are probably going to want to come out and take a look at it and have a chance to shoot it.
All Glocks will be on sale, and the first 50 guests will receive a free hat sponsored by Glock. New regulations require students get immunized before or within the first week of school, or they could possibly be sent home. But those without insurance are still in luck. Children and teens 6 to 18 who are uninsured or on Medicaid can all get the immunizations needed for school completely free at 2 clinics offered by LGH tomorrow and September 6th. As of this morning, appointments are still available and can be made for tomorrow at the Together Community Center on Lincoln Highway East in Paradise from 10 to 2, and on Wednesday, September 6th from 3 to 7 at night in the Wellness Conference Room at LGH on Harrisburg Pike in Lancaster. Children must be accompanied by a parent or guardian and can still register by calling the number on your screen. Millions of children across the world fight the hardships of extreme poverty that most Americans do not experience. That's why one nonprofit organization is visiting Lancaster County to teach the public compassion.
700 million people in developing countries live on less than $2 a day, facing challenges most Americans never will. Compassion International, a humanitarian organization that helps children across the globe in poverty, brought their mobile compassion experience to Lancaster to show visitors what it's like to live in poor conditions.
All right, just hold this till it's time to go in.
The compassion experience is necessary because there's a lot of people who are never going to travel overseas. I think this is probably the closest experience you could get to actually going to a third world, to a developing nation, and to be able to see what it's like for a child, what it's like to be in poverty.
One of the things she actually said is it doesn't just bring trash. I don't know if you heard what she said, but actually brings sewage into their house.
This event is being hosted by Lancaster Bible College until Monday. The Compassion Experience is a self-guided tour that immerses visitors into the lives of children the organization sponsors in other countries.
Let's go to the next room.
Through their own voices, they explain their hardships of everyday life to visitors.
Wow. The whole home would flood up to the top of the home.
Abby Dougherty brought her children through the tour because she knows how humbling of an experience this could be for them.
Yeah, I think it's really important because it's so easy to get involved in our daily lives and forget that these lives are being lived in other countries every day, and they don't have the daily resources that we have, food, water, clothing. Like my kids noticed that, in some of the pictures, the kids didn't have shoes on their feet and their feet were worn.
At the end of the tour, you have the option to sponsor a child through Compassion International. For $38 a month, it will provide them food, shelter, and health care. Abby is a sponsor of a girl in Africa in honor of her child that passed away.
There are kids dying in other countries because they don't have good health care, they don't have food, they don't have good housing situations. So I think it's just important to recognize that, this is not just some far off thing. This is happening right now.
Reporting in Lancaster, Brendan Leslie, News 11.
Organizers say a sponsorship is more than just paying money. Each month you write letters to the child and develop a relationship with them. If you wish to sponsor someone, you can visit Compassion International's website, compassion.com. Stay tuned to the Evening Report. More local news is coming up after the break. Even with school back in session, summer is still something to be celebrated. New Holland's Summerfest is in full swing. Plus, a way to celebrate Native American culture in Adamstown, how you can join in on the annual event. And later in sports, a local basketball coach steps aside, but fills a vacancy at another one of our schools in our viewing area. Brian Cass will have the details. New Holland kicked off their Summerfest this afternoon, and you'll want to bring your taste buds because this two-day event at the New Holland Community Park features 71 teams entered in a barbecue competition. Visitors will be able to try lots of barbecue along with other food vendors, as well as entertainment from an Elvis impersonator. And while teams cook in hopes of being named Grand Champion, the Kids Queue starts off the competition with some new competitors and returning favorites.
I have a lot of competition for the Kids Queue, and I've only been here twice, so this is good practice for me when I want to be a chef. So I just like the competition. I like cooking, so that's my favorite part.
Awards for the Kids Queue will begin at 6:30 tonight and the Grand Champion announced tomorrow. Exciting things are in the works for Need It Massage and Body Works in Ephrata. Last July, the wellness spa moved into their new location at the old State Police Barracks and are hoping to spruce some things up. Need It is currently working on an expansion that would add a completely new service to northern Lancaster County.
We're currently working on a room that's going to bring a new service to Need It. It's still designed for health and wellness. It's focusing on more rejuvenating the body. I can't really say exactly what it is, but it will definitely benefit a lot of people, a lot of clients.
What service is it exactly? Well, that's just a surprise only Jeremy knows for now. Need It will have a grand unveiling sometime this fall. News 11 will bring you more details when they're available. The 8th annual Adamstown Powwow kicks off tomorrow at the Rod and Gun Club. There will be lots of Native American culture, dancing, music, and of course some food. It's going on both Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5. Event organizers say this is a great way to educate the public about Native American culture.
It's the neatest thing because we're with you in every aspect of life. Our children are going to school with your children. We're going to churches with you. We're working side by side, you know, and the deepest roots in Lancaster County are the Native American roots.
Admission to this weekend's festivities are free with a $5 parking fee, and the proceeds will benefit 5 Pointville Ambulance and Adamstown Fire Company. Carl Kern will be back after the break with his complete weather forecast. Plus, Jesse Rothacker is back with another reptile report. Find out how a snake helped someone put a ring on it. But first, here's tonight's winning lottery numbers. Today we have our final reptile report with Jesse Rothacker for the summer, but on this special edition, Jesse tells us how one guy used a snake to take their relationship to a whole new level.
Jesse Rothacker with your final reptile report of the summer. In the last 13 weeks, we met a lot of different species and discovered how unique and complex each animal is, and hopefully this knowledge will help break down fears and biases you may have toward reptiles. My friend and colleague Bob Ferguson is a great example of someone who tries his best to understand every animal he encounters. On a recent adventure to Costa Rica, Bob was at his hotel when an employee came to him seeking urgent help. A snake had been discovered by employees trapped in a milk crate inside the hotel. As you'd expect, the poor creature was hungry and dehydrated. But rather than fearing a snake that was acting scared and defensive, Bob recognized that this was an animal that needed a friend. Bob carefully removed the snake from the crate and offered him a drink. While resting comfortably in Bob's hands, as you can see in the video, the poor little guy began drinking running water right out of the sink. During his trip to Costa Rica, Bob photographed dozens of tropical species, like this red-eyed leaf frog. What would happen if we could get beyond our fear of snakes and snapping turtles and look at every animal with wonder and amazement, the way we look at a leaping frog? I believe you discover a whole other world that you've been missing out on. While they were in Costa Rica, Bob handed this cute little tree snake to his girlfriend Julie. When Julie let the snake stretch out in her hand, she found it was wearing a diamond ring. And Julie realized she was receiving the ultimate proposal for a couple that loves reptiles. Julie said yes, and the rest is history. Congratulations, Bob and Julie, and thanks for being shining examples of how we can all appreciate and respect the animals we share our planet with. Thanks to all of you who have tuned in with us this summer to explore the vast natural world that is all around us. Please keep sending me your reptile questions, photos, and videos, and visit ForgottenFriend.org so you can come see us in person at a live event, or invite our reptiles to an event of your own. Thanks for giving reptiles a chance. I'm Jesse Rothacker with your Reptile Report.
That is so cool. How romantic.
Yeah, thanks to Jesse for another great year.
I love that. Well, you're here talking football again.
Yeah, Holly, week 0, they call it, of the high school football season. There were some LL teams in action tonight in games that count in the standings. Those scores are next. Plus, our preseason preview series continues with Cocalico girls soccer. 19 freshmen on the roster this fall. What else do the Lady Eagles have in store? Find out next in sports. Stick around.
Got that sunshine in my pocket, got them hips all in my feet, got them walk the way you rock it, won't stop. I can't
Gotta end a Friday show with some good music. Students, teachers, and the superintendent of the school district of Lancaster put their twist on a popular late show skit inspired by Jimmy Fallon's Classroom Instruments, which uses classroom objects to cover a song. But this group of talented musicians came together to kick off the school year singing Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake. I just love that.
Yeah, that's how we do it in Lancaster City, J.P. McCaskey High School.
Yeah, you're a McCaskey grad.
My alma mater. Yeah.
You didn't think of it first.
They didn't do the McCaskey fight song, you know.
They should have.
Yeah.
Still
Tornado.
Good. Don't.
It'd be good.
Don't start singing. Well, that'll do it for us. I'm Holly Hare.
Brian Casper. See you next week.